Linda died! She straight up died! Is she the character the writers were planning to kill off? Really? Okay, of course she's not dying, but this is without a doubt the most exciting season premiere Phineas and Ferb ever did. My mind is still blown. Damn, these writers are good. Today I want to break down the extended sneak peek of summer blockbuster that Disney just released on YouTube, which is basically the entire episode at this point, but still, let's break it down. But especially, we gotta talk about Phineas and Ferb's mom's disappearance. So basically, ignoring the fact that I posted my analysis of Summer Blockbuster's first sneak peek minutes after Disney released a longer, crazier one, it seems the revival is starting off with a bang. Basically, in the episode, Linda cared to tell Candace how much she regrets being away so often last summer, so now she wants to make it up to her kids and be more present, spending more time with her family, because you can appreciate what you have before it's too late, right? And the first thing she does right away is getting vaporized. You gotta admit, you didn't see this one coming. I know I didn't. Candace was ready to show her mom her brother's 5 new inventions all at once, and she gets hit by Doof's vaporizerator. Between the suspense, the way they exploited the show's formulaic structure, and the fact that Doof's inator had the ability to hit 5 different targets all at once, but ultimately just hits Linda out of nowhere, they still know how to screw with us. Linda just ceased to exist. I also loved the kids' reaction to this. Their mom straight up got vaporized in the blink of an eye right in front of them for no reason. I mean, how would you react? So now, what does this mean? She's clearly not dead, of course. She probably was just teleported somewhere else, like in another dimension or something. If I'm not mistaken, Doof's monster truck awayinator also erased stuff from reality, only however to send it somewhere else, to some other dimension. Even his go awayinator from season 2, from Candace Gets Busted, that one too simply moved things from one place to another. So this might be what's happening here. And if this is the case, I really hope we actually see Linda lost entirely by herself in some other reality or dimension, trying to figure out what the hell just happened and trying to find a way back home. But in case she just actually got vaporized and not teleported or anything, then I gotta assume this inator has a reverse button of some sort, or maybe the inator's destruction will bring everything back to normal, as is often the case. So obviously we'll see her back soon anyway, which I think will probably just convince her to spend even more time with her family as soon as she's brought back. Meaning she'll probably be extra clingy this season, and I mean, how to blame her? No matter what though, the boys will surely do everything they can to bring back their mom, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be the premise of the very next segment, so Cloudy with a Chance of Mom. Now, I did suspect that Summer Blockbuster and Cloudy with a Chance of Mom could be 2 episodes happening on the same day, because in one of the leaked images we got a long while ago, we saw the very same bumper cars the boys built in Summer Blockbuster also appear in the sky in Cloudy with a Chance of Mom. But now, I'm more than certain that these 2 segments will be connected. In fact, I do expect the next segment to be all about the boys trying to find their mom, and Candace perhaps beating herself up for her disappearance. Which of course gives the episode name Cloudy with a Chance of Mom a whole other, more tragic meaning. A chance of mom? This is gonna be so sad. I legit felt super bad for Linda even before her disappearance when she teared up looking at her family photos, but now that she's gone, oh god, this is depressing. This being a 2-parter episode may also be the reason why the sneak peek spacing feels so very weird. I bet you guys noticed it too. Now, of course, what we saw on Disney's YouTube channel, this thing that they call an extended sneak peek, even though it's so long that it shouldn't even count as a peek, it's still not the full episode. In fact, the whole thing doesn't even last 9 minutes, so I could assume that this sneak peek cut of the episode just removed 3 minutes worth of scenes from the actual episode and tried to edit the remaining 8 to 9 minutes as seamlessly as possible. They probably didn't want to release the entire episode, also as a way to have the audience go and watch the full segment once it airs on TV or on Disney+, but they didn't want to do just a simple, silly sneak peek, which probably wouldn't have gotten as many people excited. But by having this whole story culminating with Linda's disappearance at the very end, well, that's gonna get a whole lot of people hyped. Either that, or the extra 2 to 3 minutes of the episode episode were cut from, from after Linda's disappearance, which would be really tragic. Imagine if the effect of Doofenshmirtz will be reversed right away as Perry destroys it like 20 seconds later, therefore bringing her back in one extra scene that they didn't show us in the sneak peek, resulting in the episode's pacing being so very messed up and this banger concept being completely wasted. But I think they'd wanna go for the cliffhanger ending anyway, so I actually do think they just shaved off a few minutes here and there from the episode just to make the sneak peek a little more concise, while the actual episode will have a normal pace, I assume. Especially, I really don't want them to waste such a cool concept. I don't think, and don't wanna think, that's the case. After all, the episode clearly framed Linda's disappearance as a pretty big deal, and as I mentioned before, this screenshot from Cloudy with a Chance of Mom also implies that the two episodes are happening back to back, so it would be a huge waste not to make the most of these two episodes being connected. Although, third option, what if Linda disappeared for the entire season? Now, that would be an excellent way to shake things up. Now, of course, it's not gonna happen, of course, because I don't really see the boys enjoying their summer while their mom has disappeared, and I also don't see the tone of the show shifting this much. But hey, the guys who wanted Candace to stop trying to bust her brothers, they wouldn't complain anymore, would they? No mom, no busting, problem solved. Actually, I don't know about you guys, but this premise just feels so cool that I'm kinda bummed that the writers didn't make a full movie out of it. It could have been a banger, a Linda-centered movie where the Flynn Fletcher kids bond and work together to get their mom back, while Linda is sent to some other reality, or heck, maybe even to the second dimension itself, where she's gonna meet her own alter ego and her family's alter egos too, and she'll work with them to get back, while at the same time helping them fight the new threat of second dimension Doof, Charlene and Vanessa working all together. Perhaps Phineas and Ferb and Candace can join her right after and they can do a whole other battle in the second dimension. It would be insane. All things considered, with this twist, they just earned all of my trust and respect already. In fact, if the pacing will be fixed in the actual episode, and if they play their cards right with Linda's vaporization, then these two segments could actually become some of my all-time favorites. Now, short digression here, because I do love how Doof is starting out the summer with a milder scheme and means to slowly but steadily pick up the pace and get eviler as the summer goes on. And especially if this is a two-parter episode mostly centered around Linda and the boys' attempts to try and reunite with their mom, it's probably a good thing for him to start slowly with a chiller scheme. The Flynn Fletchers are probably gonna need a whole lot of screen time here, so Doof might need to stay on the sidelines for this one. Then the fact that Vanessa showed up and that she addressed Doof's return to evil is actually something I really appreciate, because it means that the writers did not really forget the whole reason why Doof became good to begin with. Still, they didn't really provide a satisfying justification for his return to evil yet, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be addressed in some other episode later down the line anyway. It's just a shame that it wasn't really mentioned here. The writers do have their hands full with Phineas and Ferb's story here, so they'll probably just push back Doof's back to evil monologue to a whole other episode, perhaps one entirely dedicated to him. And also, unrelated, but I'm so very happy to see Irving being ignored and disliked by literally everyone in Denville. I'm glad that the writers realized how nobody likes him, because nobody does. With that being said, we are done. Again, unless of course Disney releases a brand new sneak peek in just a few minutes, so let's just sit tight and wait for that. I swear, my timing really is completely impeccable, and to think that the moment I heard about this new sneak peek, I didn't even want to make a video on it. I wanted to skip it, but then they pulled such a crazy twist out of their hat. I mean, how could I not talk about this? As always, of course, I thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, which is probably gonna be sooner than expected anyway, so see ya, ciao.